Hello and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm the executive producer here, John Bates, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I'd like to thank our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee, without whom we wouldn't be able to do much, especially not all the content that we put forward now. I also want to thank all the people that have joined on with us since the, I would say, successful experiment that was Midsummer Night's Dream. If you're interested in that, go check out our YouTube channel, where youtube.com/Sensaku, where we performed the world's first, as far as we're aware, live stream production of a community theater performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream. That sounds like a lot of qualifiers. It's more just because that's the way I talk. Please go enjoy them, give us feedback, let us know if you'd like to see more of that in the future. If you'd like to support us financially, you can do so on our Patreon page at patreon.com/FSFilms. You can also follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films, or follow me personally at John A. Bates for all future updates and live notifications for our live stream. In the meantime, sit back, relax, enjoy.
And welcome all.
I should note that
evening.
I tend to say we're live and then do the transition to give us time to stop the conversation.
Well, that's nice. Welcome back to another episode of In Grover Green, a Final Show Films Changeling the Lost Chronicle. I'm Jack. I'm the storyteller for this mythic arc of crazy bullshit that happens set in the city of Baltimore. And to introduce you to our cast for the evening, allow me to go around the room, starting with Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing List, the Wizened Oracle.
And Jeremy.
Hello, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Adele, the Darkling Grave White.
And William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Phage, the Ogre Gristle Grinder.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I am playing Mira, the fairest surgeon with a cha sound. Playmate.
That's
You
true.
just realized that my name in Roll20 is the wrong way around.
I know, it's fun. Oh, in Roll20? Yeah, probably.
No, sorry, not the overlay.
Yeah, no, we fixed the overlay.
Yeah, the overlay's good.
Raphael, who plays Neofly, our Darkling Night Singer, and Holly, who plays Lark, our Beast Windwing, are unfortunately not with us this evening, but they will hopefully be back shortly. Last time we visited Baltimore, the Motley began investigating a series of disappearances that had been building over some time. One member of their own Motley, Nero, is among the missing, as is an individual who's affiliated with a more or less friendly to them Motley elsewhere in the city. But with the spate of disappearances rising and no one quite sure as to the cause behind it, our intrepid protagonists went out looking for more information. Speaking to the Walkabouts, whose member Tessa Dancing was among the vanished, as well as Tag, Darkling Antiquarian, who is the librarian and scrivener for the Autumn Court, and therefore has potentially an enormous amount of information and secrets at his fingertips. They drew together some interesting tidbits of data they had not previously known, and the term bridge burners came up. Bridge burners are apparently the name that is given to changelings who think that they can somehow magically lock off the real, the material dimension where mortals and most changelings spend the majority of their time, and the hedge, the liminal in-between space that forms the border between the real and Arcadia, the land of the true fae. But bridge burners tend to be a little off kilter, even by changeling standards. They tend to take very extreme measures to attempt to protect, as they see it, the real world from the predatory nature of the gentry, and sometimes resort to less than ethical means in their efforts to do so. But with mounting circumstantial evidence pointing to the idea that some level of paranoid conspiracy theory changelings have started kidnapping other changelings, the Motley is preparing to hopefully share the information and figure out what their next stage is. In the interim, both Mira and Phage went to meet with Paige, Phage's girlfriend, for a study date and a little bit of glamour harvest. Liz also did another chalk painting on the street in order to harvest a bit of glamour as well. But we are picking up a couple hours after both of those activities conclude. Are we starting at the Crack House or Adele's house? Where would you guys have probably set as your reassembly location?
Probably my place.
Yes.
I would assume.
I still, Holly isn't here this week, but I still need to finish fixing up Lark.
That is true.
So Adele's place would be preferable for me. But
Yeah, no, that
Okay.
and that makes sense in general, anyways, because reasons.
All right. So we'll say that you guys have swung by the Crack House, picked up Lark and Butterfly probably because Neofly's going to want to make sure that she's okay, and Lark's been watching her there. And as the various vehicles reassemble, you guys are once again parked outside of Adele's house and preparing to go in.
Yep.
For medical procedures, etc. Adele, as you go up and you unlock the door, you push it open. Give me a wits and composure.
I swear to God, Bird.
I mean, what if it's something else?
It could be something else, but I swear to God, Bird.
Let's be honest, we know it's Drummond.
I mean, Drummond would be the nice version of what it could be. So probably
True.
not. One success.
Stepping inside, the very first thing you notice is one of your entryway lamps is knocked over, laid on the floor.
All right. So she sort of instantly is going to back up against, like, sideways to against a wall.
Mm-hmm. Exterior or interior?
Interior.
Okay. Duck inside.
Almost spiderly. And activate Night Subtle Distraction.
Okay.
Become harder to notice.
Yes, indeed.
Glamour, because I'm pretty sure I don't meet the catch, although I don't know what it is right now.
Night Subtle Distraction, you are not outdoors and it is not night.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
All right, so you'll roll Weird and Stealth.
Weird and Stealth. And so I have 9 against on this because it's Stealth. And you know what? I will spend another glamour to raise my stealth by 1.
Okay.
9 again.
And I assume you're protecting. Are you grabbing physical contact, or are you with anybody else, or are you just doing this for yourself?
I'm reaching out to whoever was immediately behind me and grabbing onto them.
Okay.
Whoever that may be.
Yes, that was me.
Fuck you, dice.
So you reach out for it, trying to invoke that parallel you have with the aspects of reality that allow an individual to remain less noticeable. Nothing activates, though. Mira, since you're the closest behind and you're in the general vicinity as well, I want you to roll a wits and composure
You
too.
have a hand on the lower half of your face.
Probably.
Like
You have a hand
like
on the
this.
gas mask.
Yeah. Like this.
Which is a little amusing because my face is basically a mask at this point.
It's
literal
still part of
mask.
your body. It counts.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But you can't shush me. I'm wearing a mask. It's in composure. Not a team effort, and
there's a faintly ammonia-esque smell that you pick up on, Mira.
okay.
The other two of you,
Hmm?
as well as Lark and Neofly, are sort of noticing this happening. Additionally,
What?
Adele's gone on alert.
What?
Shh.
Is my cat in there?
With that little bit of knowledge, the ammonia smell that you smell, Mira, yeah, it smells like cat pee.
I'll look at Adele. Give a shrug.
The switchblade comes out. Click.
Adele,
Also,
don't,
look how closely to list.
don't.
I'm not. Shh. I'm not going to murder your cat if it's just the cat.
It's just a cat.
You
I
don't.
looked at it. It's just a cat.
And she's going to start creeping in.
Okay.
Very softly to list. I can explain why she's upset later. Okay.
As you proceed inward, Adele, you do notice that one of the chairs has apparently been lightly clawed. Might need some new upholstery on a couple bits. And there's definitely a couple of Tootsie Rolls sitting in the hall, kind of in a corner. And you don't hear anything. It doesn't look like there's been wanton destruction on any significant scale. It's very much what you'd expect if a cat had been, locked in an unfamiliar house for 48 hours. Pee is definitely coming from pee smell is definitely coming from one of the couch cushions.
You and your pets. Yes, I am including the talking fucking bird in that.
Do you say that?
Yes. Yeah. No, that was out loud.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. It's not. It was in the house. Couldn't leave it in the house.
The sterile room should still be fine. I locked that door.
Can I?
Apparently, the cat is being chased by an army of dogs. Which, if that were the case, I would be very impressed that this was all that was done.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you guys move deeper into Adele's home, we'll just everybody roll me a wits and composure. We'll see who finds the cat first. This will be fun.
I was like, nothing ever actually happens. It's always just Jack having mundane circumstances freak people out.
I mean, that is, you do realize why that is.
Yeah, but yes, because that means that when eventually something is happening, we will assume that it's just the cat or Drummond or something.
Well,
Yes.
There have been many times where something really did happen.
That should not
this
be.
game.
Did it matter? No,
0.
it didn't matter. I actually had it 9 again, but it didn't matter. So it's
Dang it, we're all like even.
Okay, so yeah, as you guys go in, just as you're about ready to split into various aspects, a black cat with white paws just kind of comes sauntering out of a room, looks up at you, meow,
You're
and
probably
sort of
nearly
keeps
tripped
walking.
over it before noticing.
I will try and grab it before Adele with her knife threatens another one of my animals.
You keep saying I'm intentionally making mundane things freak you out. I wouldn't be if you people would keep track of your fucking animals.
Drummond is his own person.
Drummond is definitely his own person, yes. This is just one of those things where I'm like, they left the cat.
Yep.
What would a cat do? I know what a cat would do. I have had this happen before.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a, we'll say dexterity and animal ken. Why not?
Okay. I have nothing in animal ken.
Then why do you have so many pets?
Because I just pick them up because you all are heartless. All right. I don't benefit from the 10 again rule on dice pools involving -2 to untrained social skills. Okay, this is
Yep.
gonna be great. -1.
Chance die.
Nope, not quite chance.
Huh.
1 success.
You managed to scoop up the cat.
Yes. Look at Adele.
What?
Mara, I don't think we heard.
I'll have your knife out.
Oh yes, so I do. Click. Puts it away. Well. What's... Mira, you have some fixing of to do, I think.
If there isn't anything we need to act on this moment, I'd like to take a few hours and do that, but
Yes. Liz, you have some cleaning to do, I think.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I have some drinking to do.
Unless you hear a ping from Nero's laptop.
Immediately open it, checking to see what made the sound.
There's an email alert.
Click on it.
Okay. You've gotten an email with a sound file attached.
Click on it.
So, as you say, Liz has some cleaning to do. She whips out Nero's laptop, begins typing a little bit, and then an audio file starts to play.
Oh no.
When Jack trod forth that morning, seeking his fortune on the open road, he took few precautions, instead choosing to rely on his cleverness and wits. But as the sun set and the darkness crept upon him, Jack saw a foul devil, clad in vast wings and armed with sharp claws, with the head of a goat. With great swiftness, Jack pulled a thin iron chain from his bag and hung it in a loop between 2 pine trees before he made his camp. And seeing Jack's fire, the devil swooped down, thinking to make a meal of this foolish traveller. But the devil's neck became snared in the chain, and the thick trees on either side would not allow him to spread his vast wings, nor employ his sharp claws. With feigned surprise, Jack approached the demon, offering to set him free. "It'll be very simple," said Jack. "Let me take off your wings and loan me your claws, and I'll have you free in a jiffy." With no other recourse, the devil agreed, murmuring the mystic words to remove his claws and wings. Jack immediately snatched them up and recited the same incantation, now wearing the wings and claws himself, and leaving the devil merely a large goat on a chain. With the dark majesty of demonic power now at his own command, Jack claimed the pine forest as his own kingdom and used the goat to breed a vast herd of livestock to support his own wealth. For you see, sometimes it only needs a quick mind and the right tools to betray the devil.
Have I mentioned that I hate that thing?
Click. Close. I like it. It gives advice.
How was that advice?
That was advice.
I'm pretty certain that was quite typical. It might not be advice for us specifically in our current situation, but it's advice.
Oh, I'm sure in some strange way it may be relevant to us. Anyways,
The library. Do you want to do it after?
yes, perhaps a little bit after.
Mira, at this point, you've managed to get Lark upstairs to the clean room, which was locked and is still clean.
The cat hasn't figured out how to use keys yet. Excellent.
I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Liz tries to teach a cat to pick a lock.
Or a matter of time until the cat gets smart enough to pick the lock on his own.
Maybe.
Cats are terrifying sometimes.
That
But
shit
yeah.
is real and happens, let me tell you.
I am well aware.
Cats are I don't care what kind of facade they portray. Cats are fucking geniuses.
But if you're wanting to patch, take a few hours and patch Lark up some more, that would be intelligence and medicine.
I have something to this. I'm forgetting.
Yeah. As a Chirurgan, you get... I think you get 9 again on medicine rolls, yeah.
This is the level of care a hospital can provide. And
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't involve clarity, so my Ferris thing doesn't apply. Intelligence.
Nope, it does not.
I'll spend a willpower on this. Why not?
Oh, and let me look at Lark's character sheet as well.
I know she's still pretty banged up because I only managed to do one.
Yeah, she's still got 2 lethal. So yeah, you can still see that some of them are a little sketchy.
It's sort of sad.
Okay. Yeah, that'll downgrade one of that lethal to bashing, which should heal up and be gone within 15, 20 minutes or so.
And I continue making rolls or just leave it at that?
Each roll takes an hour. So if you want to spend another hour, try for that second success, or that 4th success, I should say.
Yeah,
You
I said an
absolutely
hour.
can do that.
I'm not spending willpower this time, but
Okay.
2 more successes should be.
Okay. Yeah. In the meantime, her 1 bashing vanishes, and then she's down to just a single bashing, which by the time you guys get anywhere else of note will be gone. So, yep, you have managed
Not
to...
leaving Holly to come back. Oh, yeah, we didn't fix your bullet wound for like a week.
Infected.
Doing other stuff.
We were busy.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
hey, Dal.
Yeah. Give
Yes.
people time to clean the house and to drink themselves back into a state of denial of whatever is being denied this time.
I pop in on Adele drinking. Hey, Dal.
She hasn't even made it all the way to probably into the office at this point.
Yep, I've got like a armful of cleaning supplies and a cat. Because I'm just gonna carry this thing around with me now forever because I know it annoys you.
Give me a manipulation and animal Ken.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
yes, please carry the cat next to the highly toxic cleaning chemicals.
So mean. But also, I absolutely had that toy that annoyed me.
No, that's a 0.
That got reduced to a chance die. You'll have to roll a
Oh, it
chance
did.
die. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yep. That's because manipulation I'm worse at than dexterity. I can catch a cat. I cannot convince it to do things. That's a 3, so no.
Okay, yeah. So you are attempting to carry. The cat is not having it, and the cat squirms out and jumps down and just starts to wander.
Okay, I will leave it. Hey, Dell,
Yes.
do you want to help me clean? I have extra gloves. Wave them at you.
Liz, dear, I am not saying that I am not experienced in cleaning particular types of stains out of upholstery. Um, you know what? Fine. I
Good.
will help you this time.
Show me where the secret doors are, because last time I opened a closet and I found some weird stuff. So your house is weird. Hand you stuff. Begin.
I don't have any real secret doors. At least none that she's saying. What weird things did you find in a closet?
A picture with its eyes covered.
Remind me, I didn't know anything about this, right?
That's true.
I'm sorry, what?
A picture with its eyes covered. By as I try and remember exactly what that one looked like. Was it pennies?
I believe it was.
Yeah, I believe it was pennies.
Where did you find this?
That one? I'm
Did
gonna
you
point.
leave it there?
Yes. I put it back.
Could you show me where?
Yeah. Can you do something for me? I've got one more question from you, but this is not really a question. This is more of, I don't know how to do this.
Okay.
I need you to look up and see if you can find, as I try and remember what the name of my character was at the beginning of this. I wrote this down pages.
No, actually, they were not pennies. They were arcade tokens. Excuse me.
Okay. Arcade tokens.
Continuity.
What's my character's goddamn normal name? Kathleen. I know that was the first name. I can't remember her last name.
Are you talking about your character's original birth name, or are you talking about your character? Okay.
Birth name.
Not her fake identity.
No, I know that one.
Okay.
Yep. This Kathleen. There was a G in the last name. That's all I remember.
Garibaldi.
Nope, not Garibaldi. It was not that. That sounds right. I could make this up.
But you give Adele your birth name?
Yes.
Okay.
Find her.
Good speed.
And then I'll show you where the
Okay. Quite possibly, yes. I would need more than just a name.
name.
Wait 1 second. Let me get and she dips into the office, grabs a notepad. Name, location.
And I'm not sure if Liz would remember her exact address, because that is not. She would remember the general area, she'd be able to recognize it if she saw it. I don't know if she'd remember a series of numbers and letters.
Give me an intelligence and composure. No, intelligence and resolve -3.
Okay. It's been a while. Yep. Nope.
You're still rolling that as a
Oh,
chance
that's
die.
right. Dang it. Self. Come on. -3. Okay. There we go. 2 successes.
You actually do remember your address.
Okay.
You grew up, or the last home that you remember was in the block between one of the blocks between Herring Run and Clifton Park up in Mayfield.
Herring Run and Clifton Park up in Mayfield. I'll
Okay.
tell. Yeah.
Is there anything else you know about this person?
Well, I know February 11. And as I remember what day I had to actually put down, because the year, I had figured out the year at some point. Sorry, I should have prepped this.
It's all good.
Clearly, I don't remember my character information very well.
God, Mara.
I know. Let's see. There's her backstory. Come on. Open up. February 11. Something or other. There we go. (1996).
1996. That is this person's date of birth?
No. When she went missing.
Okay. Yes, that should be, and it was a date of missing. I can certainly do some nexus searches and other news, and perhaps a little bit further. I can certainly look into it. Yes.
Oh, her name was Catherine. That was
Catherine.
it. Yes, Catherine.
Catherine.
I don't have
don't
her
have
last
it?
name
Okay.
written down on the sheet. I hadn't come up with her family at that point.
Catherine something
Yes.
or
Sorry.
other.
Catherine, last name given but not remembered.
I can make up one if you want me to. If that
Do
won't
it.
mess you up. Okay. Galbraith. GALBRAITHE.
And what was that date again, Mara?
February 11, 1996.
Okay.
You just. If it's gonna take a while, we can clean, but promise.
Yes,
you
that
will-
will. Well, it won't take me an enormous amount of time. Oh, it depends. You're asking me to look into a disappearance from 22 years ago. Can I get an empathy roll here?
Jack, you're still
Jack, you're
muted.
muted.
Go for wits and empathy. Mira or Liz, if you're trying to dissuade or keep this under wraps, it'll be manipulation and subterfuge.
No, she's not trying to hide this from Adele.
Okay.
She does want to get the point. Like, she hasn't talked about this before. She has not mentioned any of this,
Mhm.
she would want Adele to know that not to tell anyone else this. Like this
Okay.
is
Yeah, I got no successes. I'm just like,
Yeah, list is always a little weird.
yeah.
You can draw your own conclusions, but you're not really getting a good read.
Fair enough.
There's not a ton to confirm your
I
suspicions.
tell you what, let's do. Let's go take a look. See what I can uncover. Cleaning and
the stain will set.
cleaning and I can get a new couch. Cleaning can wait. Cleaning and photograph can wait. So yeah, I'm going to head to my office. Start booting up all sorts of news search sites, logging into shit. So
Okay.
Nexus, just base Google,
Mhm. So this will be intelligence and
Reddit
computers.
searches in case it's a particular mystery. You never know.
Right. This will be intelligence and computers. I will let you use your investigation journalism specialty on this one, though.
Open up a
Since
Tor
it-
browser, check the dark web just for fun. You said intelligence computer?
Intelligence computer, yep.
Okay. I'm going to spend a willpower on this.
Sure.
Why not? I have one left. Give me 4. 3 successes.
Okay. It takes you about 20 minutes before you find what you think you're looking for. Catherine Galbraith is not an uncommon name. And there's the question of, is it Catherine with a C or Catherine with a K? That sort of thing. But you are able to find that there was an individual, a child, missing, and during the early winter months of 96, that was apparently solved. The body was found about a month after the vanishing.
Okay.
And the child had apparently been kidnapped and murdered.
Okay. Was there any word in anything of how the investigation went? Any leads?
As far as suspects and that sort of thing, they of course investigated the family who lived at 2218 Kentucky Avenue in Baltimore. There was heavy suspicion on the father, but ultimately no particular conclusive evidence tying any member of the immediate family to it. Family was, of course, was reasonably wealthy, and apparently still. If you dig into it with 3 successes, you can find they do still own that house. Apparently the husband worked in finance. The wife was a medical out of Hopkins, and as far as they are apparently, as you poke around, seems like they are still alive, married. the body was found about a mile away from the house, wrapped in plastic in a dumpster. About a month afterwards, there was there were some questions raised as to what happened in the meantime. Is really what the main crux of the mystery is. It looks like a standard kidnapping and murder, but the remains were reasonably well preserved, and there's a little bit of discussion about it on various message boards and things that, it was the wrong body, that it was a misidentified, coroner's reports, morgue records, and that sort of thing. They probably, it's one of those. They wrapped it up and they said this matches pretty well, but there's questions on how conclusive the identification would have been, that sort of thing.
Conspiracy theory kinds of things.
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right, just on a chance, it's a low chance, but this is the wealthy. This is a wealthy, a young girl of an affluent couple found murdered. So there's always a chance that there was some kind of television program, or like an America's Most Wanted kind of thing, or something like Women Who Kill, one of those terrible shows.
Mm-hmm.
See if there's anything like that.
Okay. Digging more into it, because there wasn't a ton of information you were able to find on the victim, just that this Catherine was the child of a fairly wealthy couple. Catherine was apparently about age 17 when this happened.
Okay.
And
so it's not quite John Benet level of hysteria.
No. And apparently was characterized in the media. There was moderate media coverage, but there was a level of she was not the most sympathetic victim. She had trouble at school, that sort of thing. She would have been probably more characterized and painted as kind of a spoiled princess type rather than a tragic victim type.
Okay.
And the family being very reserved and not engaging with the media very much, there wasn't a whole lot for the media to get their teeth into on this one. Plus, she wasn't probably going to bring in a huge amount of views. So there was an amount of local and regional attention paid to the case, but other things soon took over the news cycle on this one.
Okay. Sorry, I'm checking personal history things for a moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
As Adele's inner investigative journalist becomes very rapidly to the forefront.
I mean that
it wasn't really inner, really.
Also,
you find something that I would actually have memory of.
Give me
because I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
young rich girl from an affluent family in Baltimore who was a misfit in school who ends up murdered seems like something that may have drawn my interest.
You know, that's very valid. Give me an intelligence and composure. I'll give you a +1 on this for circumstances.
Okay. One success.
As you're rolling through this, there are a couple things that do kind of pique your that ring bells for you, and you remember having some level of knowledge of this. I'm trying to remember exactly how old Adele would have been in '96.
So in
though.
'96, she grew. I left everything a little bit vague, but she grew up in the '70s, so I would say probably like 7 or 8 years older.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was doing the math. So 1979. She grew up during the '70s. I was picturing her as being like like uh, like probably if we transpose to 1996, probably like 24, 25.
Right, but was she in Arcadia at that time?
I don't. Again, vague,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
I feel like not because the way there was enough time there's enough time in her young adult era to have developed some level of a career and such as it was
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with stories and things like that. So close,
Yeah.
which is creepy, but close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, somewhere around there. I don't know. That's a
Yeah.
I it whatever fits best. I think.
Right. Yeah. So, well, assuming that Adele was out of Arcadia, not quite yet taken
Right.
herself at this point, yeah, she would remember some aspects of the case.
Okay.
You would also fairly clearly remember, however, that literally like a week later, there was a train collision literally right outside DC.
Okay.
That killed 11 people, and because an Amtrak and a commuter train basically smashed into each other because of, well, problems. And that kind of dominated the local news cycle pretty quickly right away.
Understandably. Okay. So she'll collect everything that she has. So return to Liz.
Say.
So looks like this Catherine she disappeared was found a short time later deceased.
Jack, can I tell if my fetch is alive or not? Because we had talked when we first like set up the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Would Liz know if her fetch is alive or not?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
Nero certainly didn't.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Cool.
Is this? She leans back a little bit, reaches over for the bottle, pours 2 glasses, puts one in front of Liz. Is this someone you had a personal connection with?
That was my name.
That's what I thought. Well, you will be. Well, you may be, you may not. I don't know what you were like, but you may be happy to know that. Well, there was suspicion initially. Uh, it seems like the investigation quickly moved away from your family. They always investigate the family first,
Mm-hmm.
especially for someone so young. Um, and yeah, I will just sort of present all of the information as tactfully as possible. For the moment, the one thing I'm holding back is that the parents are still alive.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
If I had to hazard a guess, I would say that the body that was discovered, well, I mean, I feel like this is pretty obvious, but the body that was discovered
That wasn't a
was.
body, though.
Hmm?
The fetch in the house. That wasn't a body.
No, but with the right level of glamour, I don't know. Anything is possible. The other possibility is, well, that somebody was that an already existing body was changed. They did a full investigation. Hopefully they would have noticed if it was not actually you to any applicable sense. Standard in this sort of thing are things like fingerprints. And while DNA evidence was shoddy at the time, it did still exist, and you were rich enough to potentially be able to afford it. Or to not to afford it, to merit it.
Do your fingerprints change the same? Stay the same?
I don't know. I legitimately have no idea about that. I don't have fingerprints from of myself from previous to compare. However, I mean, no, that's bad. Never mind. Ignore me.
What?
I was going to say, we can say with some level of certainty there are probably fingerprints of you on file somewhere. So we could use that to compare, but I don't think we should be breaking into uh, uh, police
They took
houses for
the
cold case to steal cold case investigation files.
they took fingerprints when I was there.
That will probably be written off as some kind of clerical error. Clearly, you are not a dead girl. Also, there is absolutely no way that you would fit the same age. There are too many inconsistencies. It is concerning because anybody who might know to look out for our kind might see that as a red flag if it were raised. But I don't believe that humans would continue looking too far into this.
Okay. Okay. Help me clean.
Are you all right?
Help me clean.
Very well.
So what's Phage up to right now?
everyone seemed to decide they were going to go off to their own tasks, so I think Phage is actually just going to make food with what's available, if there is anything available, this is Adele's house, there might not actually be anything.
I mean, Mira was the last person here. There's probably food in the fridge with a little note. Please try and save some of this for Phage from the food I ordered previously.
Yeah, there's leftovers here.
She will try and make the best meal she can put together with leftovers.
Okay. Give me a wits and crafts.
All right, wits and crafts. I have a success.
You make a marginally appropriate meal of kind of weird fusion cuisine goulash.
Works for me.
I mean, you've
it
never
was mostly
had
takeout anyways.
right. You've never had lo mein topped pizza before, but you know you can definitely eat it.
That sounds really fucking good. Now I'm hungry.
I mean, it kind of does.
Holy shit. I want to be there.
I want to go to that place.
But in the time that it takes Mira to patch Lark up, Neofly is pretty much just keeping an eye on Butterfly. Phage is getting herself a snack in the form of almost half a pizza, and the other two are cleaning. Yeah, almost half a pizza. There was not an entire half pizza left.
That's fair.
Yeah. But you guys get your various tasks completed. What's your next plan?
Well, after cleaning is done, which does consist of some amount of, okay, this is getting thrown out and we are ordering a new one.
Okay.
If you have use of it, by all means, it is simply no longer a couch cushion.
Okay, it's the cushion. You can save the zipper off of that.
Do what you will.
Okay.
Give me
I'm
a
just
wits and
saying,
crafts
I am
to see what you
ordering
can
a
salvage.
new couch cushion.
Oh, save the bits off of it. 2 successes.
You're able to get you're able to get the zipper. You're able to get part of the fabric on the underside of it.
Sweet.
And about half of the foam. The rest of it is very much cat pee.
Okay. Is the foam dense enough, and is my backpack large enough to be able to stuff the foam into the backpack to carry it around?
What else is in your backpack besides the computer?
I left the ruined radio at the club. I've got like basic sewing supplies because I forced everyone to stop and buy things.
Yep.
I have a pack of chalk in there.
Yeah, you can probably fit the foam in.
Okay, cool. I stuffed that in there.
Yeah.
How big of a piece is it? Is it most?
It's about.
Is it like? Is it just thinner than normal, or is it smaller, like dimension wise?
Both.
Okay.
It's both. It's probably about 3 inches thick.
Okay.
Maybe about 2 feet in either dimension.
Okay. Cool. I'll stuff that in there.
Yep. Okay.
We did plan.
Well, first part of plan is confer the information that Phage and I learned.
Yeah.
All right. So Mira and Phage share their findings regarding Tessa's movements and supposed rough time frame of disappearance, potential locations, bus stops, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Ours unless Adele is stopping me.
Huh?
We confer ours.
That's not a yes.
Okay.
I mean, anything relevant to Tessa and that whole thing, sure.
Okay.
And anything that's relevant specifically to Liz that Liz might like to share is fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, we tell you about the what was it? What did we find? The keys that
Mhm.
there are other groups in different cities, which I didn't
Oh,
know.
right, there was that.
Yeah, there
Yes,
was
now
that.
I am remembering things.
Yeah.
No, that's very relevant to bring up. Yeah, no.
That it's was probably used as a hedge marking, but it also kind of ties in with symbols of freedom and imprisonment and all that jazz. In other
Bridge
cities.
burners.
And then bridge burner.
Would I know what that means?
For those of you who are hearing Bridge Burner for the first time, give me an intelligence and occult -2.
Chance die.
Not wits and crafts, intelligence and occult. Intelligence, occult. I have 2 dice for this. And no successes.
My character sheet is not behaving, but I think this should work.
Yep.
No successes.
Yeah, no, not a term that either of you are familiar with.
They are. Let's just be polite and call them extremists.
Oh, they were maybe the group at Grunwall who wanted to talk to Kalineg because Kalineg didn't belong to a court.
Right. Well, there weren't really courts yet.
Wasn't hanging out with anyone who became a court.
Right. No, there was
And hedge gates? They're more
they
hedge
have the
gates.
tendency to yes, they have the tendency to potentially do things like leave sacrifices to try and
Seal.
yes. Needless to say.
That could be very.
Yes, it could be relevant and bad.
I'm sure you said this at one point, but why were you guys initially looking for Kalinag?
Gilly tasked us to do so.
Gilly did not. Ward answered it.
Ward answered it. Sorry.
That was your job in exchange for her giving you guys weapons.
Oh, I had forgotten
Sorry,
that bit.
that's good to know because I think
I
we said
was
it.
like, this is relevant, but Mira doesn't know it.
Well, no, because I think we've said that out of character like at least once for the last couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking it as written information. Okay, fair enough.
Well, she asked after we found a dead person.
Yeah.
We told Ward answer and Billy.
Okay.
Because we were not associated with it could not have been us because we hadn't gotten free yet.
There are hedge gates near here and by the Fetch's house. And I'll explain a little bit more about them. So there's one on by the railroad tracks where they go underneath a street. That's near us, and it's big.
Not us here.
Not us here.
Us
at the crack
house.
Yes. And there's one by 1921 Park, which is the Fetch's house, Nero's Fetch's house. That a changeling was chased out of. Vilestrike I don't remember which conference. I only I haven't conversed with Drummond a lot. Did he say anything about vile strikes to me? I can't remember.
Jack, you're muted.
As far as Drummond has spoken,
I know he's mentioned them.
yeah, he's mentioned vile strikes before. He didn't give you any specific details per se on how or what or where, other than it's something unpleasant that lives in the hedge.
Okay, yep. Being chased out and got back through there.
You can make me an intelligence and occult roll if you'd like. If anybody has hedge specialties, those would, of course, apply.
Nope, but I'm rolling the chance die anyway.
All right. Well, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
3 successes.
And
Actually, that makes a fair amount of sense that I might know.
Yeah.
Cole. Two.
Intelligence and occult, you said?
It's
1. Not bad.
okay. And 2 for Adele. Yeah. A little bit of running back and forth. Some of you have heard them under other names, but yes, vile strikes are aerial hobgoblins that live in the hedge. They tend to be highly aggressive, highly predatory, and they have the ability to fly. They're basically large, terrifying, predatory birds.
So that's how we know that's a hedge gate, or that's something that happened around the fetch?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
I don't know which changeling. It was maybe, I don't.
So it's very possible that Nero was either traveling through or was traveling overland, and those routes were used to get him. And if the timelines match up, possibly. Actually, Liz has the computer, right, and knows when he left. Yeah, Mira will reiterate the thing I cannot remember, which is exactly when the member of the walkabouts was by, to see if that timeline matches up at all.
We know when Tessa came by.
Right, yes. You guys do know when Tessa came by. And basically, with the information that you've been given, it sounds like Tessa would have been there the evening after. So Nero had made his last phone call to you guys. You were out doing other things, and that evening, Tessa went by.
Right.
And so sometime between Nero's last phone call and Tessa leaving the walkabouts and disappearing, that's sort of the scam of time that you guys don't really know where and what Nero was up to. Whether he may have.
I thought that the browser history narrowed that down further. Never mind.
As far as the timestamps go, you know that Nero had been doing research up until roughly around the time that probably Tessa was getting there. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's important because his laptop was at the house.
Yes. So yeah, Nero had either left shortly before or was still there probably when Tessa, if Tessa made it to the crack house, probably at roughly the same time.
And Nero is helpful in his way. So he may have offered to walk Tessa to the place she was going. That's one thing that
That
could've-
would seem to be the right level of chivalrous and complete lack of awareness regarding any kind of personal risk, all things considered at the time, that fits Nero, yes.
Absolutely. There's an element of machismo to the way
All right.
the way he tries to help.
There's a crunching sound as Neofly wanders back into the room, right about the time you say machismo, eating a handful of pretzels, and then continues out of the shot.
I mean,
And the rest of the motley just kind of looks at the camera like they're on The Office.
Right.
machismo does not have to be a thing only one douche guy has.
She didn't call anyone though.
No.
I think the one down by the railroad.
That was what I was saying. It's the largest. It makes sense that if
They didn't know it was there. Maybe.
we should go
Do
check
we
it
know
out.
any other place the walkabouts are, or just...
I mean, they have their own place and territory.
Yeah.
Territory, so to speak.
Would it be
not
worth,
official territory, but you know.
if they're a serious suspect at this point, which I think is fair, would it be worth trying to subtly, obviously, ask around about if anyone knows them, if they are courtless, if they're not?
The walkabouts?
So everybody except for Mira, give me an intelligence and investigation. Because Mira wasn't here season 1.
Yes. And I am being that awful person who's going through my notes going, this is relevant, but I can't say it.
I mean, I literally remember when we talked to the walkabouts yesterday, it was noted that they were spring court.
Oh, no, the not walkabouts. Grass.
The green wall?
The green walls?
The ones
okay.
I can never remember.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they weren't. I think, specifically. They were all kind of like insular and...
That's a chance die, so
yeah.
I have nothing to offer.
Because we were wondering how to like figure out how to talk to them.
Okay. So Adele and Liz, you guys remember specifically, Greenwall they were rumored to not really have a draw towards any of the courts.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember seeing anybody. I mean, pretty much most, if not the entire Keyhold, has been in and out of the night gallery over the couple nights that it's been open already. And you don't remember anybody there being mentioned as a member of Greenwall.
Mm-hmm.
You guys also remember that Greenwall was supposedly they had sort of staked out Gwyn's Falls neighborhood as sort of their turf. And so if you were looking for them, that would probably be your best starting point. And Gwyn's Falls was, of course, roughly around where you found Kalanag crucified in the hedge.
Yep. Here we go.
I wonder. This maybe it's silly, but given the notes we have, Liz, you said something about people who've been here a while.
The elders.
Obviously, we're newer. How long have the members of Greenwall been around?
I don't know. They haven't been. I haven't asked anyone about them.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't exactly been a focus as of late
No.
for us.
Maybe they should have been.
Should we tell? Share information.
No, not yet. What we have is guesses and suppositions, and since we are supposed to be, well, there's a couple people that we're checking in with on this at this point, because unless Jeremy remembers incorrectly, this has also been discussed and sort of henceforth perhaps retroactively assigned to us by Gilly, because I'm pretty sure we've talked about it.
So Gilly had initially asked you guys, since you were sort of boots on the ground and at the outset with Kalinag's murder, see if you can find anything more out about that.
Mm-hmm.
The vanishing of multiple changelings, however, is
Yes.
at least Autumn Court, if not Freehold entirely business.
Right.
I'm remembering now
Yeah.
that War Dancer had asked us to find Kalinag. Yeah.
Yes, we just said this. Like,
Oh, sorry. But I don't think we informed her that he was dead. I can't remember if that happened.
No, actually, she was the first person you informed that he was dead. Yeah.
Okay.
And she came to where you guys had pulled his body out, and then I think chucked right back into the henge.
yeah, she came to confirm that the person that we were being honest, and also I believe she was the one who was really explicit about, no, you need to talk to the queen about this.
Got it. Thanks.
So she knows that he's dead, and she also would know that we talked to Gilly about it.
Sweet.
So yes, we. In this sort of situation, there can be a tendency for some individuals, and I'm not making any aspersions on anyone or assuming what will be done, but there can be a tendency to leap into action. We should be sure first, or at least more sure than we are now.
I thought that's what.
Well, how do we go about doing that then?
I was speaking in specifically, Mira, in reference to Liz asking, should we share information?
Right. Oh, okay.
So how do we go about doing that then?
That's there are a number of very good and very bad ideas, some that are both very good and very bad.
Let's start with one. Think
them.
about it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let's start with one idea, think about it, and it doesn't have to be what we go with, but at least we're starting to think about what we're gonna do.
So, we could. I feel like one of us should probably befriend one of them. More than one of them. You would be the best choice.
I like friends. I'm a little more ambiguous on friends. But I can do that too.
Sending a person in alone
That's for our
is a
listeners.
thing that we haven't told anyone we're doing.
Oh, we will leave full.
With
I'm
who?
certainly not going to. If, say, we were all upon leaving this house to be gunned down by the um people behind this, there would be details left behind because I will be documenting all of this.
Where?
As soon as we are done with this conversation, and as soon as you show me something in the closet, I haven't forgotten. Um, uh, in my office.
I need to make a roll. Give me a moment.
At which point she pauses and says, "That's not a euphemism."
As Mira was just about to lean over to Phage and go,
And be like, is that a euphemism?
we were dating. That absolutely falls under the purview of the pop culture I was familiar with.
Yep.
Oh.
Nope.
So at
there
which
is
point,
literally something-
Adele,
There is literally something in a closet in my home
Yes.
I was not previously aware of that is going to be shown to me.
That's surprising. Well, do you need help with that?
No, that is unrelated to these matters. I am simply, regardless. But once we are done here, and that is done, I will be going back to my office and documenting all of this.
My first question is, do we know any of the members of Garden Power?
Garden
Captain
Wall.
Planet.
Wall.
Greenwall.
Greenwall.
Oh,
I feel like Mira would stumble over the name just for a second. Having only
No,
learned-
Mira is really. She has low wits, but she's really good at social things.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
She
Remember
doesn't
the name.
stammer. I do all the time.
No, by stumble over the name, I mean like get the name wrong.
No. Again, she's a really social character.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Names of people, places, and groups are important to her. If she had to do any like engineering, she would be like the one that's yellow. But
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I am not. The thing is, one person, and excuse me, Mira, but one person who is sort of more. Who is not viewed with quite this. Who is potentially viewed, because joining late, with perhaps not quite the same solidarity as the rest of the group, is one who may be able to learn more.
absolutely. That wasn't what I was asking. I was asking, it's hard to make friends with someone when you don't know who they are.
No, yes, sorry. I was responding in response. I was responding to Liz asking about only sending one.
That's reasonable.
As far as no, I don't know any of them.
they don't talk to anyone else. They hang out in a group.
It's a challenge for you.
Fair enough. Of course. If that's what you'd like.
I think it's the best tack we have. The other options we have are poking around where they are, um, dream investigation, things like that. But all of that comes with considerable more risk.
You can't it's hard to find one person. There are a lot of people. And if he's far away, it's
I'd
hard.
imagine there's a lot of dreams and a lot of ghosts and a lot of. Well, there's also a lot of people to talk to, but those can be narrowed down.
I saw the lady from the cell again. From jail.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Where?
Chalk.
Okay.
She put. I pull out the coins.
okay.
It's about 63 cents.
Yep. Ooh, 63 cents. I will add that to my inventory. Cool.
That's not how you track resources in this game.
What kind of coins are there?
You have
'Cause
6
when you're
silver
talking
pieces
about, like, weight.
and 3 copper pieces.
Is it quarters? Can I use these
Pennies
coins?
are not made of any copper
Important
anymore. Well,
questions.
technically, like
Well,
the-
yeah, but dimes aren't made out of silver either.
you're also
Actually,
right
it's
about
worse
that.
than that. It's 1 50-cent piece.
Oh,
Try
God.
spending that shit anywhere.
I love
A
it.
dime and
I love
1
50 cents.
electrum,
My favorite.
1 silver. 3 copper.
Don't diss
Anyway.
Electrum. Electrum's the best.
It is the best. It's also the most useless.
Quickly onwards. You said chalk. You sold her chalk?
No. She in the bin when I was drawing today. She didn't recognize me.
Okay.
She didn't recognize you.
That's good.
No, I talked to her twice.
I mean, it sounds like whatever was ensorceling her wore off.
Yes.
What?
Some other changeling, assumedly.
Why?
Perhaps something else. Who knows what else can do this? But had very likely ensorcelled her. If that wore off, then
How
she's no longer a security risk.
do I have any idea how long ensorceling usually lasts? I have never tried it, but
Give me an intelligence and occult.
okay. Because I saw her did I see her the next day? And she was still
It was within a couple days, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was the 4 successes.
As long as they want.
Okay.
There are varying durations to any given
Cool.
Ages.
any given pledge.
Like a month? Something like that.
Yeah, my pledge lasts for a month.
Yep.
So that's probably all it is. It is definitely something to keep an eye on, or to be not keep an eye on. We don't need to follow this person and find out, but definitely something to stay aware of should they continue to pop back up.
Or if additional mortals are ensorcelled without having any context, that could present a different challenge.
But for now, I think that's probably one we can at least let stay on the back burner, because the front burners are getting a little crowded.
Or Kalanag.
I'm sorry, what you cut out? The audio cut at the
Sorry.
very first part of that sentence.
Nero or Kalanag.
I thought we decided they were.
They are the same thing, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm at least moderately certain of that at this point. So
We're not anywhere near Greenwall right now, are we? Nowhere near Gwyn's Falls, anywhere that that group is hanging out. That's a ways from us. Right?
As far as that, it's well under half a mile.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, never mind. I retract that.
Oh, one other.
Or actually, let me measure because I'm just estimating here.
isn't it great to be in a setting where you can actually just, I don't know how far that is. Let me go to Google Maps.
Yep.
It makes it hard to artificially exaggerate distances.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I don't know how far that is. Let me check this hand-drawn map.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is in a book somewhere.
Okay. By road, you're about 2 miles away.
Okay. That's still
That's still pretty close.
That's walkable for
that's
the
still
more
an hour.
durable of the characters. So one more sort of quick mid-burner issue. I understand I'm not necessarily specifically involved, but the Motley is officially. So do we have any other stuff to do for the club? What do we need to do for the next
That's a
week?
good
Bagpipes.
point. You're not involved in that
I
currently.
need
That needs
bagpipes.
to be resolved.
I
No,
didn't
you
mean
don't.
to be pushy about it.
We just fixed that situation. You get a phone. You do not get bagpipes.
But
Find something that doesn't involve bagpipes, please.
I really would like to help you make this performance as great as you can make it if you want to perform at the club.
Which is the evening after tonight.
oh god, that's so close.
I assume that we have an act scheduled for tomorrow already, but it is a question of a strong next showing on both sides of the or of the theoretical curtain, given past events recently.
I mean, some people would call live gunfire a fairly strong showing.
You know what she's trying to say.
Absolutely. So, with some various options on the table, some of them accessible as far as an interior closet, some of them a couple miles away,
Right.
some of them a couple days away. What is everybody planning to do next?
I was told, go solve it. This is your challenge.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
That is definitely what I heard. If it
That
wasn't what
is-
was intended, I misheard.
Oh no, that was absolutely what was implied.
Fix everything.
Adele has delegated. Insinuate yourself and go undercover as a friend of our suspects.
Oh god, this is terrible.
So
Is
The
it terrible?
person that she
you
knows to be.
explicitly said, correct me if I'm wrong, that you don't need help with the closet thing.
Yes, correct.
Do you think there's any chance you will need medical attention with the closet?
I don't believe so.
That also wasn't a euphemism. Though there are condoms in the...
We'll say that Mira has made at least one run through the local Planned Parenthood clinic and gotten a bowl.
You can get those at a drugstore.
You can totally get them at a drugstore, but they're free at Planned Parenthood.
Yep.
Okay, you're not wrong.
And for what little it's worth, even in this setting, Maryland and Baltimore specifically is a Democrat-dominated political state.
Fair enough.
You can still get them at the drugstore. You just need
You
to know
can-
how to ask.
Yes, that's true.
But
the last thing was said was this is a terrible idea or something to that in inference. And I'm asking the Oracle, is it a terrible idea?
Good question. I would like to check. It's like a terrible idea to me. Like I am fully expecting her to not come back, and I don't dislike Mira, so let's find that out.
All right, that's a wits and composure roll.
Okay.
If you want to use your Panamancy for this chapter on this one.
Yep, I will do that.
And you can spend willpower if you want. Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I usually can't. Usually.
Oh, that's right. No, not on your Panamancy. Sorry.
Yep.
So what are you looking at?
She's annoyed about the bagpipe situation, so I'm gonna wander into another room.
You have a phone now.
I do. I have someone to call. I'm gonna take my phone out and turn the brightness way up, and then just stare at. And I'm gonna open a message. Stare at the blank screen for a minute.
Okay. And then you glance away.
Yep.
It's weird how a rectangle of light can occasionally take on the shape of a skull in the post glare. This is a fucking terrible idea. You think to yourself, okay, we have a group of people who we're pretty sure kidnap and occasionally murder.
Yeah,
people.
yeah, this is.
And just sending them alone.
She's gonna die.
They have, if these are the people that are responsible, they have a summer, they have a winter, or sorry, they have a summer, they have a spring, and sending them somebody else who
They have a winter person already.
They have a winter person already, so maybe that would be okay. Sending them another winter.
Spare.
But or maybe they'd use it as regardless, just sending them a lone person. You don't know how many people are in this motley. This is a terrible fucking idea.
She's gonna die. If you go.
You're by yourself in another room.
Yeah, you're not. You
I'm just
haven't
gonna-
returned yet.
She's gonna. I head back. She's gonna. I'm staring at the phone still, and I'm typing furiously now. I'm sending a message to Sunset. Haven't
Okay.
finished that yet, but I'm typing. She's gonna die alone.
You have a better
Say that
idea.
out loud, or you just
Yes. Yeah. No, I say that out loud.
Mira will sort of look up from the couch where she is texting on her flip phone because no one got me an iPhone. I just got the someone took pity on me when I got back, and I got
Oh shit! Yeah, you're not on the friends and family plan right now.
No, I'm not.
We need to fix that.
So Mira looks up from where she's doing. For those who don't remember how flip phone texting works, you press numbers multiple times to
Yep.
make it a
Mhm.
specific letter.
It takes forever.
So she's doing the really long version of texting. Liz, is there someone we need to take care of right now?
No, you don't go. And Liz's the way Liz types is like one finger, like an old person. It's very. She
Liz?
doesn't know. Yep.
Can I see what's on your phone right now?
Do you promise not to go?
Adele's walking over and looking over Liz's shoulder at the phone.
I promise I'll explain what's going on. And what I think you might think is going on and how those are different. You know how I talked before about how some of us jump to conclusions much faster in certain areas?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see your phone?
This isn't related to that. You're going to die if you go.
I know, but when people are stressed, or at least when I'm stressed, I find that I sometimes do things that I regret later or do things impulsively.
It's on the phone.
It says in all caps, "Hi, this is Liz. Do you want to meet tonight?"
So hands go on each side of the floor. Just doop.
What?
Adele, you understand that it's a bit creepy when you do that.
Liz, dear. Who? Actually, is it listed as
It would
Sunset
say,
Blue?
yeah, it would, yeah.
Okay.
If she put her name in there, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's true. So she put her own name in. So.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you meeting with Sunset Blue tonight?
I made a deal with her to get some more information
About
what's going on, what things are, who people are. I'm gonna give her a dream.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
What's
I was there. She wanted basic information about people around the freehold. I believe specifically you were looking for a specific person.
I don't think so.
People who were there really early on.
Oh yeah, the early people. Yeah, which I got that information, but I have to pay her.
Yeah, right. Yeah. She was looking for information about which changelings had been here the longest among the Keyhold, and in exchange she would offer her a dream. So
a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. All right. No, that's. Sorry, that sounded very. The answer is very different from what it sounded like. I didn't know. It sounded like you said you promised to provide information on missing people or something to that respect.
No.
That's much better.
I just showed her the letter.
And now we're back.
And we're back.
Which letter?
The one.
The one that everybody in the freehold has seen by now?
Not everyone. This one. And I pull out the I showed her the 2016 letter.
You showed her the one with her name in it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. The one that was from the guy she used to know. The one that's about dawn coming and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying really hard not to make a Gautier reference right now. Really, really hard.
To save us from that, Mira will speak up.
I realize I just failed at not making the reference.
Yes, you did. By mentioning it, you have failed the game.
So we can talk about that and why that might be a little hurtful to some of the people in your group on this team in our family.
Bart.
But you were concerned about something too, right? You were concerned about me going.
Yes.
So I think this may be one of those things where we go to different conclusions because we're very different people. When Adele says I should ingratiate myself, she may be slightly implying that I should go to hell and am an inherently untrustworthy person. But also, I can try and find out information. Like, we don't know who's in this motley, how many people there are. I'm not just going to walk up to their door, knock on it, and say, "Hey, do you want to be friends?" Because the only people that's going to work on are you guys.
I take offense to that.
This is a question that I have for the DM because I believe she's aware, but I'm not 100%. Is Phage aware of Lys's abilities as an oracle?
Not in so much as you know that Lys comes out and makes declarations about what's going to happen to with fairly regular occurrence. You've never done any like double-blind studies to see whether or not she's accurate.
To be fair, most of those have turned out to be inaccurate. Or not inaccurate, I should say.
They're vague.
Undetermined.
Yes.
It's also really challenging for those on the outside to know what is something Lys has oracled at and what is Lys making a declaration, Nero's alive. I don't need proof Nero's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't really change her next question. It just changes a little bit of her thought process behind it. So, Lys, why are you so certain that she's going to die?
Skull.
What do you mean by that?
I do have one. As much as people do say I don't have a brain in it. I think. I haven't actually.
I looked at the light and there was a skull.
Right.
I think you're going to need to walk me through the process that makes that really obvious to you and not to me.
You look at a light and then it gets dark because it gets dark, and then you can still see things that go kind of across, and you can still see them, and they're important. There was a tree and I found the note. There's a skull.
Can I get an intelligence occult on this?
I was about to say.
Can I get an intelligence medicine or
yeah, you guys can get all of those rolls on this.
Okay, so I was asking if it'd be intelligence and medicine or maybe something like weird and medicine.
What are you trying to specifically find out for Mira?
Well, obviously Mira's aware of the very basic phenomenon of light impacts in the eyes. But what that might mean to Lys and if that holds any significance because changelings.
Okay. That would be an...
Spend willpower on do I know this thing?
No, you can't.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. Let's reroll that without willpower then. Same result.
Mira, I'm going to have you roll an intelligence and occult as well then. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a chance die. Great. Thanks.
So Adele, you're looking at Phage, or you're looking at, well, actually, no, you're looking at Phage as well, just trying to get, like, does anybody around here have any idea what is going on with our cute little, completely fucked up in the head, I don't know what, desperately trying her very best, very hard, but does not always come across with a level of clarity in all the ways that can be interpreted.
Right.
Phage, you know that Liz generally makes sense to herself, and usually is not. She is one of the least actively deceptive in your experience. Adele, you're pretty sure that Liz has some level of foresight, but whether or not that is actively interpreted or clearly communicated,
Adele has also been the one who has been with her when she's made like the clearest, I'm gonna follow a thing.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to reassure you that I am not going to walk up to their door and ask to make friends. I'm going to see if I can find out who any of them are, if anyone knows any of them, if they have a court, if and where and with who they socialize.
Yeah.
Things like that.
So, looking at Liz the whole time, Adele will say, yes, Mira, just to be clear, make friends with everybody that potentially around them.
I already do.
I'm saying hold off contact on any of them themselves.
I thought you were challenging me. But yeah, I can do that.
I am challenging you. However, we've already lost one of us. I have no desire to lose another.
Adele is challenging you, but she's challenging you like an autumn courtier, not a summer courtier.
No, she's challenging. No. To be clear, she's challenging you in the What's a good analogy? Well, she is challenging you in the hop into competitive right off the bat way. She's not challenging you in the Dark Souls Battletoads way.
Hey, I would argue that those are actually the opposite way around.
For you, not for most people.
Because in competitive, you don't have a chance to breathe and get your bearings first.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls, or even in Battletoads, you can stand there for as long as you want.
I'm just talking general difficulty level of hard but doable to jump into comp at level 25 and have some success. To jump right into Dark Souls and have success.
For those who might be confused, I have beaten the third Dark Souls and am a decent way into Blighttown on Dark Souls 1. But don't play competitive Overwatch because here's my secret. Use one of these.
Okay, Battletoads then, because I think we can all agree,
Yeah.
fuck Battletoads.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
There's hard, and then there's I want to drink your tears, so I'm making this game.
Or I really didn't think about speed or
Like,
usability,
anyway,
and no one play tested my game.
yeah. So yeah, use your ability to make friends all around them. Just don't walk right into the den of doom.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good
Is
enough?
that better, Liz?
Yes.
Okay. Talking to Sunset. Would do you think Sunset Blue would be averse to somebody else coming with you for this conversation?
It's
Not that I don't trust you.
it's a she wanted a prophecy dream.
Fair enough.
Don't You can add more people, but it makes it
But somebody can wait while you do that and then be there while she delivers the information, correct?
mm-hmm.
You don't have to bring that person in with you.
Storyteller. I think she had already given me the information technically, according to our kind of like
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
ha- yeah. You
That had
yeah.
not been clearly communicated
Sorry.
in this
you
conversation.
you have gotten the product. Now you just have to pay for it.
Okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
Still, would it be all right if somebody went with you to the place?
In terms of physical bodies, Liz.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
Phage.
Okay. I mean, she's my court. If you want me to go along.
I mean, there was there was that, but I was going to say, well, yeah, that would actually be good
All right,
if that's possible.
it's not a problem for me.
In the meantime, before we do that, because I'm not letting this go, can you show me this photograph?
Yeah. Someone needs to do the performance then, because I'll be busy.
Does it
do
have
you
to
know
be tomorrow
already have
night?
someone
Can
booked
it be tomorrow?
for?
Evening after tonight.
Yeah.
And Liz is
Yeah.
she doesn't have enough time. Like we've been too busy doing things. She doesn't have enough time to do it.
Okay.
All right. So
Fair
what's
enough.
happening first?
We're going to a closet.
It's this
Okay.
way. I grab your hand.
I
Okay.
will just be quietly making jokes over here in the corner.
Come, let's rush into this closet in this Victorian mansion.
Yes. Makes perfect sense. I will show Adele the closet where the picture was. Open it. It's right.
Give me a intelligence and composure.
To see if I remember where the closet was. Oh boy. I'm just gonna open
No,
it.
you've definitely
I
found
do?
the closet.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Keep your cool when you realize that the portrait is different.
One
The
success.
cat has peed all over it.
As I go to skin a cat.
No.
No cat.
And
I want to prove to you that there's more than one way.
skin a cat.
Damn it, Jeremy.
This knows that already.
You pull out a picture frame, that you are. This is not the one that you set it down.
Okay.
You pull out a second picture frame that's not the one that you needed either.
Mm-hmm.
Adele, she's 0 for 2 so far. And then she pulls out a third one.
Okay.
And there is a photograph there.
Okay.
And there are a pair of arcade tokens taped over the eyes. But from the bits of the face that you can see, as you flip it over, it definitely matches the name on the back.
Okay. Which was, I
Which-
remember what it was.
Casper Montgomery, 1982.
What the actual fuck?
What? What is it?
Oh, no, yes. Hold on. No, never mind. Ignore me. Need to check something here just to make sure because this may be relevant.
I mean, this is only the only.
Looking at your own history that you've
Yeah.
written that you don't remember having written, or
Oh yeah.
the details
I'm
that you
familiar.
wrote in.
So,
Okay. Her birth name is not Montgomery, it's Hamilton. Does it say Montgomery?
It says Montgomery.
What the actual fuck?
What?
When did you find this?
The the first time we stayed here? After the key. The first key on the door.
You said that they're the tokens are taped on?
No, sorry, glued on. I
Glued
should have,
on?
yeah, glued on.
What?
Yeah.
What is there any indication what arcade they come from?
No,
Just generic tokens?
just generic tokens. Yeah.
What?
Two things. One, Casper Montgomery is the name of my father. Two, Casper Montgomery is not the name of my father, it is Casper Hamilton. I took on the name Montgomery as a pseudonym.
Is that him? I pointed at the picture. I took his I took the tokens off his eyes once. I can do it again if that helps.
Wait. Rewind. I'm reading my history a little more thoroughly now. Ignore that second part.
Oh, okay.
I took Montgomery off my name.
Oh, you took Montgomery
Yes.
off your name? Okay.
Look, I wrote this history how long ago?
Yeah.
Yep. A while.
Also, I write long histories.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
I really like bullet points.
And I read it.
According to Notepad++, it's 2,360
Oh
words.
my goodness. They're like 3 lines.
That's pretty moderate for you, though.
That is.
That was part of the glory of playing a spring court who literally doesn't care what their past was. I didn't have to write any of it.
Also true.
So no, but yes, this is Casper Montgomery is the name of my father. My father didn't own this home. I don't own this photo. And I certainly didn't tape arcade tokens or glue arcade tokens to his face. Can I get a potential occult roll for any symbolism or meaning or use, if such is the case, to the tokens?
Are you talking just the tokens specifically?
Well, no, the act of putting
Okay.
them.
Yeah. Intelligence and just make me a flat intelligence and occult roll.
Okay.
May I make
We'll
that
see.
as well? I have a theory, but yeah, it's
Sure.
that's
If you can make it if you tell me your theory.
Two successes.
theory. So normally you that was what you did to send the dead off because you need to have
Right.
Right.
money with
Mhm.
arcade tokens aren't actual money.
Right.
Adele isn't. Yeah. So it's
Adele
Adele
is-
isn't- yeah.
Adele isn't dead. Possibly a
Technically.
warning of, hey, we found the thing that was attached to you at one point. Your family, and here it is in your new shiny house that you didn't let people who you considered your family in until they were all in dire danger. Because
Wow, that is quite the. I like it.
Yeah. So as a threat. Intelligence and occult. Here we go. 1 success.
Okay. So yeah. Adele, this is fucking weird.
That's one way of putting it.
You're definitely familiar with the
Coins
both of you are familiar with coins on the eyes of the corpse,
Right.
Goes back in tradition very long in history, and it's been moved and adopted and assimilated into multiple cultures for multiple reasons, the most clear of which, or the most notable of which in Western culture is you got to pay the ferryman somehow. The
Right.
ferryman going back to Greek and Roman mythology, but definitely carried into Irish and other.
And
Yeah, but also arcade tokens are not money, but they could be affiliated. This is
certainly a metaphor for money.
Photograph. This is not a corpse. And you place coins on the eyes of a corpse. You don't really make sure that they're really good and stuck on there the way these apparently have been.
I mean, there are contours of eye sockets that you can't get with them.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, you could draw the parallel, but Adele, you're not really feeling that that's necessarily the same, intent here. If there was intent here. Also, yeah, you definitely don't remember ever having, I mean, you have seen this photograph before.
Mm-hmm.
It was larger and in a different house, of course. This is not a familiar, this was the photograph picture that my mom left on her desk or something,
Right.
If your mom had a desk, but you have seen this particular photograph before in terms of this is a picture that you know was at one point taken.
Mm-hmm.
This one is just not the one you remember. And covering up the eyes of a photograph has some various impetus to it, you might say.
There are a number of famous murders about covering up that involve covering up photograph eyes. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But not necessarily with arcade tokens, and
right.
more frequently they cut out the eyes of the photograph or scratch off the eyes of the photograph, not just cover them up. Yeah, this is some well, this could go just fucking any direction now, couldn't it? So yeah.
This is the problem with a big house.
This is the problem.
This particular thing.
That is your takeaway, Liz?
You don't know what's in your closets. Do you have more relatives? Do you recognize this one? I pull out the other photographs.
Are these other photographs things I know of?
All the other photographs.
Okay, yeah, they're just pictures of random whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just this is one of many kind of junk closets, sort of in a sense. Yeah. No, if you go through the other photographs or the other picture frames in here, most of them are photographs, and most of them are ones that you've either had or kept or remember having. Yes.
So she scowls a little bit, turns around and heads back to the kitchen, actually.
Take the photo with you?
Yes, I have the photo clutched in hand.
Okay. What? Okay. I'm following. What are you doing?
When they get into the kitchen, I'm going to like...
Butterfly says, "What's that?" as you come in.
Nothing, go away.
A picture.
Okay. She does.
So, going to hold the photograph so the coins are, the tokens are face down. Use a lighter specifically on the tokens themselves to heat them up so that the glue will become unaffixed.
Okay.
As opposed to just ripping it off.
Right.
There's some weird mystical thing going on here. Something bad happening.
Okay. Give me a dexterity and crafts to try and get the...
Oh, that's gonna go well.
Have fun.
This might be why you were supposed to ask Liz for help. Says the voice of the friendship cooperation fairy in the back of your head.
Yes, that is very fair.
Brass
but she's also
tokens.
very angry
right
now.
They are metal arcade tokens, according to my original notes. So they might heat up.
I mean, it wasn't a dramatic failure.
Yeah, these guys aren't coming off. Whatever you're doing doesn't seem to be having the effect. It doesn't damage anything, but...
Also, Adele, I found skeletons in your attic.
Yes, no, those are the
skeletons
are mine. Those are perfectly normal.
Why are they on a bed?
Where do you put your friends? Do you make them hang in the closet or lie on the floor?
It's alive anymore. It's just pieces.
Look, you have your friends that are strange to me but make perfect sense to you. I have my friends that are the same.
Friends.
Sorry, you got cut off. All I heard was friends.
Which friends?
That's not the point. Um. I.
Do you want help?
Why is there no way to roll willpower? 'Cause that's a thing. Is that not a thing in New at all?
No, not
You
really.
never roll willpower?
I don't think you ever roll willpower, no.
That's fucked up.
Composure and resolve is usually like
yes,
the-
resolve and composure is
Oh,
usually
yeah, okay, fair
the form of rolling willpower that the rolling willpower used to be, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. She sets the photo down. She doesn't just rip the damn things off out of frustration.
Yep.
I grab
I need a
some
knife.
of the cleaning supplies and glue solvent.
Do you have glue solvent?
Mm,
No.
okay.
Do you have something that will chemically remove them without damaging the photograph?
That was my question with the cleaning supplies. If I have anything that I can combine to make a glue solvent. Depends on if it's an epoxy or what.
Give me an intelligence and academics.
Okay.
One problem you
Can I
can't
use
solve with
science
that
instead?
Or sorry, science. Science.
I'm
Yep.
better at science. I get to roll science. I'm
I
sorry.
love how science is apparently not academics.
Yes, I know.
That's always kind of cracked me up in this,
I mean,
in this setting.
that's
Academics is
Same
the
thing like-
articulation and methodology. Science is the encyclopedia.
yeah, like that's same thing as politics or medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I got one success.
One success, not with what you have here.
Okay. I might damage it a bit, but I think I can get it up. I'll just try and mechanically lift these off then.
Do you have any tools at your disposal that you're utilizing?
Adele handed me a
Before you
switchblade.
do that, I need
Yeah?
to go check something just to be certain.
Okay. I will sit there with the knife.
Yeah, I grab you and we head to the office.
I trail behind you with the knife.
Liz wants to make sure everybody knows that Adele does not currently have possession of her switchblade.
Yes. You may have extra, but I have one of yours now.
All right. You're headed where, Adele?
To my office to do something she hasn't done since she's come back.
Okay.
Look up her parents.
All right. As far as that goes,
Like she's assumed everything's fine because she still has money, or that the trust is fine and that's all that matters really anyways. But now she's curious.
Okay.
My work here is done.
Your parents are still alive.
Okay.
Still doing what they've done, as far as you can tell,
Okay.
for quite some time.
Okay.
They're getting older, naturally. But you don't see that there's been any particular dramatic alterations to their existence recently.
Have they been seen out in public less? Is
Less.
there less? Okay.
Less, but still occasionally.
Okay. Does my father appear to be Aging very well.
What would Adele consider well?
Not showing any serious signs of age, basically.
Um,
If I can find photos.
Oh, that's where we're going with this. Okay.
That's where Adele has many potential thoughts, and she needs to cross some things off the list.
That's fair.
Does your father have the portrait of Dorian Gray?
Yes.
Well, no, but yes
and that's
no.
the picture of Dorian Gray. Thank you very much.
It's so that all of a sudden, stab.
He's aging better than your mother is.
Okay. Take him off.
Okay. What does that mean? I point at the like pictures that you've if I've probably been craning over your shoulder because
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Could be nothing. If somebody put that there, I haven't had contact with my family since I came back.
When did you come back?
Not ridiculously long before all of you.
Who helped you out at the beginning? Like us.
Nobody really did. I sort of had to figure it out myself. And
Yes. And I like gesture at the giant house.
Hmm?
And I gesture at the giant house.
No, what was the preceding question?
Oh, sorry. Am I cutting out?
Yeah.
You got an ID and all of this.
Oh yes, I got all of this. Look, it's a long story, but the gist of it is before I got taken.
Mm-hmm.
A while before several years before I had gotten taken, I came to a certain understanding with my parents that I would do as little to inconvenience them socially as possible. And I would not have to worry about financial considerations. Apparently, in the time that I was gone, they simply didn't notice and the money kept coming in. So once I got back, I managed to find a legal assistance. You've met him.
Mm-hmm.
Who helped me
Somewhere in a dive bar,
Yep.
Abercrombie just kind of waves at the air, not really knowing why, and takes another shot.
Helped me get the proper identification, establish who I was, that I was who I was, and regain access to my finances.
You didn't have a motley
No,
at all?
no, not until all of you. I was mostly just figuring things out as well I could. I mostly grew up taking care of myself, so
Me too. Weren't you lonely?
Growing up, a little until I set out on my own. On after I got out, no, I have many friends. They just don't happen to have bodies, or do but don't have skin. In some cases, they weren't very much help in this matter. In getting myself reestablished in the world, but they were at least someone to talk to and keep me sane.
And I hand the knife back to you. Do you want me to take the off?
Oh, pop them right off.
Because I did once, and
Feel
nothing
free.
changed.
Feel free, pop them right off. I'm assuming one of a few things. Either it is a message of some sort that somebody was waiting for me to find. That could be one of a number of different possibilities. Or it's some kind of mystical or glamoury thing or another, and removing them will cause an irreparable harm to its subject, and I couldn't care less. I would just like to know one way or the other.
Okay. You know you're not dead anymore.
I was never dead for long.
Because you're not a ghost.
No. I was never dead for long.
And you're talking to people.
Correct. I'm alive. I'm aware. I'd be dead for a little while, and then I would come back and go through it all again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go back and try and get the tokens off.
Okay.
You'll go with and watch.
Give me a dexterity and crafts.
She's curious if the photo is going to scream.
It didn't the last time I did this.
Wait. Are you saying that there was another there was another photograph with tokens for eyes?
No, this one. It was this one.
You took the tokens off before.
Yes.
Oh.
See, they're gone. Ta-da!
Well, that's anticlimactic and disappointing.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not?
Well, you pull one of them off.
Okay.
Gingerly, managing to separate the glue. And the token comes off.
And the photo screams?
The photo doesn't scream.
Oh dear.
The cat does.
Ah!
There is a howling wail. Still cat. From elsewhere in the house, but definitely cat.
Liz?
At the exact moment that the first arcade token separates from the photograph.
Liz, I know that I may
She's
I may not always have the best perspective, but how long have you had that cat again?
She's dashed already.
She's gone.
Yeah. You're talking to the air unless you tried to grab her.
It's a bad time to mention that. Never mind.
Well,
no, go ahead, Mira.
I was going to try and find the cat after we split up to do things.
Okay.
Because most of what I'm doing right now is I wanted to try and text people and socialize, which I imagine I've been doing off panel a lot.
Sure.
But specifically with that end of if anyone knows about anything about, they're not called Wonderwall, but that's the place my brain always goes.
Greenwall. Yep.
But yeah, continuing that socializing, and I was gonna wander around and try and find the cat, but
Okay.
Anyway, here's
never
Greenwall.
mind.
Anyway, here's the green wall. Fuck you all. Anyway, because that's now in the water, and will never cease to be a thing. So you send out a few texts, trying to figure out if anybody knows anything about them.
Mhm.
Give me just we'll say manipulation and socialize.
I'm spending both willpower and glamour on this.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to do this quickly. I'm just trying to put the first feelers out there as I have a chance to walk around the house and do other stuff.
Yeah.
Manipulation, not intelligence, manipulation.
Yep.
Dice pools, unsocialize, plus 1 for glamour, so +4.
Okay.
Because glamour, Ferris spend 4. 2 successes.
Okay. You get the feelers out there. Some people respond that they know roughly that they tend to hang out in the Gwyn's Falls area. Nobody really knows anything recent. You do get a couple of names, however. Nightjar and Vic Vic.
Vic Vic.
And I will put those in chat.
Oh.
That's actually Nightjar is all one word, but yes, and that's the other correct spelling. Yes.
I spelled words right. This is incredibly rare.
and one of them was a made up word, even. So well done. But yeah, those are the 2 names that you get back that are apparently members that they've heard.
Okay. Yep. I'll add that to our list.
Yep. And you do find the cat, who still does not have a name. And are you doing anything particular, or just making sure you know where the cat is at?
So the plan was
Mm-hmm.
to understanding there's probably very limited. Well, there's a lot of house, so I don't know how limited this is or isn't. Try and approximate a scratching post and a litter box, because we got this cat from the fetch, who presumably
so there's not really any cat litter around, but you could probably find something that would qualify as this would be a good thing that if and when we eventually get cat litter to put in it.
Yeah, in a little bit I can walk out to 7-Eleven and get some cat litter.
Probably. Yeah.
Whatever the Boston equivalent of 7-Eleven is.
No, Baltimore definitely has 7-Elevens around. Yep. I knew what you meant.
You're going all the way to Boston for us.
That's where they make the really good cat litter.
You know exactly what
I know.
Yeah, I can get cat litter pretty easily.
There's not really anything particularly scratching post-able.
Adele doesn't have an extra couch just upright in her.
No, she doesn't, surprisingly enough. Yeah, you could maybe find some scrap cardboard around, probably, or something like that. It would maybe make a mess, but it would be functional for at least the short term.
Most of the plan is to find something that'll work for a few hours until. Actually, Neo likes running places. I'll send him out on an errand.
Okay.
Very nicely.
Yep. Yeah, no, Neofly will be willing to.
Litter. I'll hand him the keys or let him run, whichever he prefers.
Mhm.
Cat litter, scratching post, pet cleaner. I'll watch Butterfly.
Okay. Send him with a rough shopping list of pet supplies. Yeah. Food, bowls, that sort of thing.
Yeah. That is in the notes document.
Okay. Sounds good. And but yes, the cat was around and then wandered off again after you started watching Butterfly, which is when, after the very first token is extracted from its location adhered to the face of the photograph, there is a wail from the cat, which is when, looking down, now as Liz has dashed off to figure out where the cat is.
Adele is chasing after. Picking up the photo and chasing after.
Make me a wits and composure then.
It's funny how no matter what I'm trying to set up to roll, if it's, for example, resolve and composure, and I click to wits, it's always the one that you want to keep. That's the one that clicks
That
off.
goes away. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 successes.
You see that your father's eye is much more orange with a much more vertical pupil than you had noticed or anticipated it being.
Well, that's just weird.
And that's where we're ending for the evening.
Ah.
Say goodnight, everybody.
Good.
Night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.